If you're having trouble with putting and you're trying to find a putter that will help you make more putts, then perhaps today we have a review that is just for you. I'm Ryan Ballengee. Thanks for watching, checking us out. Once again, we appreciate you. Today we are reviewing a putter from Sacks Parente. And we've had this putter in the bag for a few weeks now. We've been using it for probably a handful, 10 rounds, somewhere in that range. And this is their Series 66 model. So Sacks Parente is accompanied by Richard Parente and Steve Sacks, hence Sacks Parente. And their whole big thing, their whole big concept here is the idea of ULBP, stands for Ultra Low Balance Point. So what they mean by balance point is where on your finger does the putter balance perfectly. And that can change from putter to putter. That can change from shaft to shaft. Balance point is a thing that happens in every golf club. It's the point where the weight kind of becomes equal, right? That's where you can balance your finger. And so with this Series 66 and all the putters they make, the idea is to get the balance point as low as humanly possible. And then when designing the head, whether that's a blade model, whether that's a mallet model, whatever it is, a bunch of different things are at work here. But the major goal with any Sacks Parente putter is to take as much weight as humanly possible and move it to the perimeter. In this case, the Series 66, their kind of answer style, their traditional blade style putter, they have moved approximately 80% of the weight to the heel and the toe, which means there's a big wide space here in the middle for that flange, and there's not a whole lot of weight back here. The other big design facet of this putter is having most of the weight more forward in the putter. So they're trying to move the center of gravity forward, closer to the point of impact. The idea with that is something similar to what you would see in drivers and fairway woods for better players. Same with wedges too. You're trying to move that center of gravity forward so that you have a little bit more control, so that when you hit the ball properly, it responds better. So it has less spin. Obviously, having less spin is important in a putt because the idea is to get the ball rolling quickly as possible. So you don't want that spin. You don't want side spin. So that's something they talk about at Sacks Parente as well, is that they want to avoid this notion of gear effect and side spin because that, they believe, can take putts offline. Obviously, once you're offline, it's kind of hard to make that putt. So their belief is they want less gear effect, not more gear effect. That's their core belief here. So what they have designed with this product, the Series 66, they've used 4 metals. So they use brass here in the front, and you could feel that weight. Then they've got 2 different types of aluminum. So they've got an aluminum insert here, and they've got aluminum in the back here. So that kind of comprises the weight in the back and on the sides. And then they have some tungsten in here. So you can feel the tungsten too, that they're trying to call that out here in the heel and the toe. Again, to build MOI so that no matter what you do in terms of a putting stroke, if you make a decent putting stroke and you even hit it off center a little bit, you're not going to lose a lot of distance. So even though you might not make the putt, you will hit it closer to the proper distance. So you won't leave yourself a very difficult next putt. And that's kind of the goal in a lot of putting, is to leave yourself an easy putt for the next one. You want putts to be, reasonably inside a 3-foot circle, you have been successful. And when you're 2-putting, more often than not, that means you're taking 3 putts out of the equation. That means you're probably making easy pars and bogeys. That means if you're putting confidently, you're going to make the occasional birdie, eagle, and all of a sudden your scores get lower because you feel confident with what you're doing, what you have in your hand when you putt. This was a big change for me, going from the putter that I use. I have a Kronos Golf custom putter, 3D printed just for me. I like a weightier putter, so I actually like the head on this. I like feeling the head. I like feeling it move through the stroke, and that's something they talk about in marketing to golfers, that you can actually feel the head. You can feel the putter, and in part that's because this graphite shaft is extremely light. I mean, really light. What they say is 1 gram per inch. So, I mean, this is a 35-inch putter. That's 33 grams, more or less. That's not a lot of weight. So they have 3 different types of grips available with the putter. 3 different styles, pistol, traditional, a little bit wider like this. That's what I went with. But the whole idea behind it is to take the weight out. So that way you can move more of the weight down for the ultra low balance point concept. It's kind of almost like gripping a cloud. It's weird at first, but it kind of has a super stroke quality to it, but not quite as much weight. It just feels like you're just kind of hanging on. And I think that's part of the point. And, they send you a little book with it and some other stuff, that comes in the box. But part of the book says, hey, the idea here is to take a lag style stroke with every stroke that you make, because that way you will feel the head. And with an ultra low balance point and a light shaft, this thing whips. It does whip because that's the way it works. What the idea with that is that it's self-closing, because when you take it back, it'll whip closed. And therefore, you will keep it more online, and there will be less of a chance of you making poor contact with it. And I get that philosophy, and it actually kind of plays into how I play. I like to hit lag putts. I like longer putts. That is my thing. That's my skill. I'm good at getting 30 footers to 2 feet to be kick-ins. That's my thing. That saves me a lot of strokes. I'm not the best short putter. I kind of get a little bit more nervous. I take quicker strokes, and it doesn't work as well. So the idea of taking a lag style stroke with this putter actually is appealing. But if you're a putter who kind of takes a quick stroke, like a pop stroke, and that works for you, this may not be the putter for you, because it flies in the face of what they want you to do with it to get it to close quickly. If you jilt, if you move, if you twitch, then all of a sudden, all the good things that come out of being able to kind of take that lag stroke and let it gently close to itself, they're eliminated. So if you have that kind of stroke, full stop, this is probably not the putter for you. You probably want to look in a different direction. But if you're someone who feels comfortable with a longer putt than a shorter putt, and you need just kind of that smoother stroke inside of 10 feet, okay, now we're talking. The feel of this is obviously different than the brass head that I was using, because it has the aluminum insert to it. So it sounds and it feels different. It doesn't feel like you're hitting much of anything at all, and some people like that. That was one of the things I didn't love about this, because I love feeling the metal. I love feeling that firmer contact. That's just me. I don't like the inserts that feel just almost so soft that you can't even feel the ball hitting it. But you do get good feedback, regardless of how you feel about how it sounds. So you know if you've made good contact or not as great contact, even though this technology is designed to have higher MOI, more forgiveness, and a bad putt may sound bad, but it still gets reasonably close to the hole, and a good putt feels good and gets reasonably close to the hole, if not in the hole. So I guess it just depends on what you want in terms of feel and sound. That does really matter to a golfer. But if you hit as many putts in the hole with this as another putter, and you make more putts, or you 3-putt less, do you really care about the sound? Do you really care about the feel as much if it performs? And that's an open question for anybody. But it does take getting used to if you're coming from a heavy metal style face, like a traditional putter. More putters are going in this direction than not. So this isn't an outlier. It's just something you got to think about if you have an old world mentality toward putting. This is not a cheap putter. This is not a $100 putter. It's not a $200 putter. This is a $480 putter. Now you can have add-ons, so you can basically change shafts here. You can get different shafts, like a Tour shaft, Tour-X shaft, and that's going to add to the price. $300 or even $500 more dollars. But you can get this in right-handed, 33, 34, 35, any of the 3 grips. You can get, obviously, the head of the putter stays the same. Really, the only price point change here is the shaft. Shaft does a good job. I mean, it's actually something once you get used to, you kind of feel comforted into it. Particularly on the short putts, because long putts I just look at it and hit it down there. But with a short putt, I need to think about it, and I could take a longer flowing stroke and feel confident that I'm not going to jilt it. It's actually been pretty nice to be able to use. But again, at $480, you're making a long-term investment in your game. So this, in my opinion, just like any kind of putter that's at this level, this is not something you buy lightly. This is not something you just grab online and hope it works out for you. Get fit. try to find somebody who has Sand Putt Lab, something along those lines. Go to a club champion, let them help you, and maybe tell them, hey, I'm thinking about this product. If they've got it, great, but tell them what you're thinking about, and hopefully they can kind of set something up for you so that you know whether this is going to be a fit for your game. The Sacks Parente line has all that multi-material construction you're going to find in pretty much every premium putter, with an interesting theory to it that's worth trying out for yourself and seeing if it works for your game. Head over to their website, sacksparente.com, if you are interested in more information. You can find out about their different head styles. They've got different blade styles, but really their big MOI models are obviously in the mallet style. That's going to be more for someone who it's a straight back and through stroke, not me, who has a little bit more arc in their stroke. But there's a model for everybody, and they have even higher MOI models to make you feel like there's absolutely no way you're not going to get that ball out of the hole, which builds a lot of confidence, and that's what everyone was looking for on the greens. More confidence, making more putts, feeling better, lowering their scores. I'm Ryan Ballengee saying thank you for watching. We will see you next time.